Aries, how's it going? Today is February 28th, and I'm here to do your reading for March 2020. I'm going to be reading for March 1st to the 15th, so the first half of the month. What energy can Aries expect? Hold on, that's too many. What energy can Aries expect? Oh my gosh. Like, this Mercury retro is killing me. Anyway, what energy can Aries expect? Okay, quest. This comes up quite frequently. Do I go to the right? Do I go to the left? Let's see how it plays out. I also think, because I saw it in some other readings that I've done for friends, that there's a really sort of clear shift in the energy between Pisces and Aries season, and coming out of sort of a dark place and into the light. So I do think that once the sun gets into Aries, we may be feeling a little bit less in our feels, which is normal because the sun is going through our solar 12th house right now, and that's never really pleasant. But, you know, the point of this card here is that as we seek to find the path, it actually rises up to meet us. And while we're busy searching for it, it turns out that actually we've been walking it the whole time. So a lot of people, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? I don't know what to do. Every step you take is the step you're supposed to be taking. And there are lessons that we are here to learn. There's karma that we are here to extinguish. There are new experiences that we signed up for. So even though things don't always go according to our plans or how we envisioned it, doesn't mean that we're off our paths. So let me get the challenge energy. What's the challenge energy for Aries for the first half of March 2020? Challenge ooh. Interesting. Ace of Pentacles. So the challenge is to like get it going, to materialize it, right? I think a lot of us are kind of like up in our heads right now, doing so much thinking. Again, it's due mostly because of the Mercury retrograde, which will end on March 10th. And you see there's all sort of like what's going on in the head here and what's going on in the head here about what do I want to plant? What seeds do I want to plant? What flowers do I want to bloom? Like, what do I want to bring forth with my energy? And so I think it looks like we may have some challenging times about actually making that happen in the first half of March. Again, Mercury's retrograde, so never good to start a new project and that energy, and that will take us through the 10th. And then we'll really get a big push in, at the end of the month when the sun moves into Aries. But so it looks like sort of a reflective time of picking and choosing our seeds appropriately. What do we want to manifest? What path do we want to walk? Do we want to stay in the dark? Do we want to move to the light? Let's see what else we get here. No, I don't want to use this. I'll use this. What lessons will we be dealing with the first half of March? What lessons will Aries be dealing with the first half of March? Okay, too many. What lessons will Aries be dealing with? Cosmic Gateway. Nice. Okay, so your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. Okay, so that's interesting. So as we're actually up in our heads, thinking about what we want to be bringing forward and thinking about which path we want to walk, again, there's no such thing as a mistake. It's either a lesson or a step towards. But the path starts to become clear. And actually why is because we're starting to move through a cosmic gateway. That's a very exciting card. So, watch your thoughts, watch what you allow to unfold in your mental space. Fill them with thoughts, fill them only with thoughts of that which you want to manifest. So really be careful about like attracting negative thought processes to you, or drowning in a sense of anxiety. This is really a time to blossomize. I know it's not a word, but like to have the most abundant form of thought you can have. And look at all these circles that are here repeating. You know, there's a circle there, there's a circle there, there's a circle there. So this is really sort of like things coming full circle, going through another level. And, you know, someone explained it to me once a long time ago that actually the things that are in our path, things that are in our chart, I apologize for my voice. I have allergies. And, you know, I'm in Italy, and obviously Northern Italy got hit pretty hard with not pretty hard, but hard enough by the coronavirus. So anyone who's talking to me these days is freaking out. So they are just allergies. Not that it affects you, because you can't get it from me. But the thing about our path, right, is that we sort of consider, I think, our experience on this planet to be getting from point A to point B. And really how it was more sort of described to me is like, I don't know if you've ever been to the Guggenheim Museum in New York, but it's a circular staircase. And you're always going to kind of be dealing with the same themes, because those are the ones that are in your chart. And there we are with the chart and the points again. And this one has all those, you know, the octagon points there. So that's repeated. But it's about going around and around kind of the same themes, but always from a different level. Assuming, of course, you walk forward. So if things don't, if you're like, God, this is like, I can't get past this situation. The question is not so much about eradicating a situation from your life as how is your perspective on that now? Because the idea is to take a whole bunch of themes that we've been given in our life and work through them on different levels until we get to the highest level. So this to me says that it's like we've completed a loop around on the staircase and we're about to start another loop around. So potentially dealing with some of the same issues, but from a different perspective. You know, this is kind of like the whole transmutation of energies that you have to go through it first, in order to be able to teach it to others. So that's the kind of shift that I'm seeing. It's like from experience to practice, from something that we've sort of lived in our mind or experienced in our past, and now somehow putting that into a materialization of something concrete. So it's something is definitely changing form, thoughts into material, moving up onto different levels of understanding. Let's get some other cards here. So where are we at the beginning of the month, please? Where are we on our paths? Okay, metamorphosis, but in reverse. So we'll take a look at that. So it's kind of like a stalled moment, like putting pause on the metamorphosis. Where will we be at the end of the month? Or sorry, at the 15th of the month. Where will we be at the 15th of the month? Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so the Golden Palace is, you know, the achievement. However, that is in reverse also. And then there's this very interesting figure here with the 3 circles over his head, like I was calling out the circles. The Wizard of Awareness, right? So actually, let me just look at these real quick to make sure the messages are the ones that I'm saying. Yeah, and that's a 3, so cool. So metamorphosis reversed, I know what it means. Okay, there are times of chaos and darkness that occur, much like the growing pains experienced by the caterpillar who is in the process of becoming a butterfly. There is a tendency to expect the worst when the first signs of difficulty arise, when something is taken away or unwanted circumstances come to challenge you, to let go of old ideas about how life is supposed to be. You are not a victim. Rather, you're experiencing the temporary discomfort we must all go through before the beauty is revealed. So interesting. That's kind of what I said before, is that, you know, we have an expectation of how the path is supposed to go. And so we suffer kind of like a feeling of disappointment when things don't seem to be evolving the way that we had planned. But it doesn't mean that they're not evolving. It's just going to look like something different than, you know, so it's like maybe right now we're not seeing that we're getting the golden palace, but actually what's happening is it's shifting our awareness on what that palace is, right? So if you thought that you had been working so hard on something because you wanted to be really rich, and actually at the end of the day, it turns out that you're not that interested in the money, you actually want to do it for the passion, right? Or it's just sort of shifting your conscious about seeing something that you've wanted, seeing something about your next step in life in a new light. That what you may have initially thought was what you were going after is actually now you're seeing that in a very different perspective. Let's read this Wizard of Awareness. Your soul knows best. Be still and observe. Interesting. So mindfulness is about being observant and remaining neutral about what goes on in the world around you. This applies to the environment within you too. If you struggle inside yourself, stepping into an observer position gives you a new powerful perspective that neutralizes any discomfort or overexcitement. You have the capacity to see things clearly now, unencumbered by opinion or desire. Wearing the world as a loose garment, love that phrase, requires you to adopt a sense that nothing that happens to you is personal. Interesting. So that's also this. It's like whatever the sort of conflict or block is has nothing to do with you, but it's more on a mundane level. People come and go. Experiences evolve from one state to another in a continual shifting and change, no matter how much you want things to stay the same. The Wizard of Awareness asks you to give up your need to define or limit what you're experiencing now. Interesting. It's all good. Let it be and watch the miracle unfold without any direct influence from you. So this is very much about letting go, opening up to receiving what's actually meant to come in as opposed to what we had originally envisioned. And these suggest that it's still coming, right? It's still in the process of coming. It is not necessarily in the initial form that we had imagined it. And if we can sort of take a step back and see that the path is not a straight line, but that it is circular, then we'll start to understand what it is that we're going through a little bit more. Now let me get 3 cards here. Oh, I forgot to put those other cards there. All right, that's okay. Merc Retro, it's all good. Let me get 3 cards, please, for Aries for March 1st to March 15th. 3 cards, Aries, March 1st to March 15th. This is crazy. This keeps coming up, this card. Okay, so right now we're kind of in a disappointment moment. Let's see what else comes up. Ooh. Oh, God, there's the Ace of Pentacles again, and underneath the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. Amazing. Like as a surprise. I literally didn't even see it. So that's what these 2 things are talking about, right? Is that I was looking at focusing on this, and I didn't actually see the whole picture of what there was, because underneath what I thought was a really cool card that's actually repeating another card, there's another really cool card, and both of them talking about new beginnings, new things happening. Look at that. Offers from both sides, right? So being offered not only the ability to create it, but it's like something you're actually going to be happy about too. And you know, the open hands bit repeated there. So this is very much about release this energy. And remember, it said, watch your thoughts. So get out of this space right here, and worrying about what didn't come out to be, because you're going to be surprised, right? There's more coming in than what you expect. There may be a surprise hidden behind one, like you see one thing, but there's actually more to it, and it's cooler. I love, this is great, right? And also it's like you're worried about these 3 cups, but there's new ones coming in. So new offers definitely on their way. New offers about like making it happen here also. Could be some breakups that turn around into, this could be something old coming back with renewed life. It could be letting go of whatever it is that was in the past and leaving space for new things to come to you, you know. So whatever your story is how it will play out. What it says here is that the fundamental importance is to release our grip on what we're expecting to see. So if we allow whatever's going on right now to take the shape, remember this was the road rises up to meet you as you walk it. So it's not so much about figuring out what steps do I take as continuing to go forward, trusting that at the right time, what you need is going to be offered to you. Amazing. I just literally lost my thought. So yeah, so releasing the expectation of how it has to play out, allowing things to flow to you, allowing things to take their own shape, staying in a positive mindset, and not allowing the disappointment to overtake you, to not be surprised if something comes in a different form than that which you were expecting. You know, miracles happen right now because we're entering into a new phase. And you don't want to bring this with you. So it's really also time, you know, it's not only time to turn your back on those 3 cups, but it's also time to turn our back on this energy right here. Okay, cool. Let's get an advice card. And then I will pull 3 cards from the Spirit Animal Oracle. So I guess think of a number from 1 to, there's little Zoe. Think of a number from 1 to 3. And I'll put 3 cards down and that will be yours. So what advice, no, I'm going to use this deck, sorry. What advice for Aries for the first, okay. Not kidding. Oh my God, I never get this card. I said this last time when I did the reading. There it is, the Sun. 19, 10, 1, new beginnings, things starting over, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. So be very, very conscious of your mind space in this moment. Archangel Uriel, be very conscious of your mind space. Do not let it get dragged down to the dark side. Keep a positive light, moving into a different space here. New levels, you see that on a whole new level, seeing things from a different point of view, getting perspective, getting awareness. This may be a spiritual enlightenment for some of us. What it looks like is the ability to see, like, not only to see things from a different perspective, there will also, for some of us, this will be new thoughts, new ideas, new creations, new passion projects. It may be new relationships. It may be just a new way of thinking, you know, so, but there is a very clear shift that's going to happen over the course of the month that looks really pretty fucking awesome if I have to be honest here. So awesome. All right, cool. Let me get these cards. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 spirit animal oracle cards. So the first is for people who picked number 1. The first card for people who picked number 1. Can I get the advice for people that are currently thinking of the number 1? Yes or no? No. Okay. Advice for the people currently thinking of number 1. Almost. Advice for the people. Okay. Oh, nice. Dog spirit. Be loyal to that which you love. And look, that's a 19 as well. So let's read this for you. Put it right there. Sorry. I'll pull these closer. Okay, so we have the dog spirit, 19. Thank you, Colette, for always putting numbers on your cards. Dog spirit appears to remind you that although change is a part of life, and all of us are meant to evolve, our love and commitments remain strong. You are loved now and can trust that this higher love is true. Spirit loves you, and love has arrived in many forms now, manifesting in the people you surround yourself with, expressed uniquely through them. Dog spirit also says, be true to that which you love, for now is a time of good fortune. Be steady as you recognize that people and things are always transforming. Your heart is loving and true, and dog spirit wants you to know that your steadfast commitment to experiencing and expressing love will attract and manifest more love. You deserve all of it. Have faith in Spirit's plan for you. Very nice. That's an echo of, pretty much what's on the table here. Let me move these, sorry. Okay, let's get another one. Can I get a card, please? For the people currently thinking of the number 2. Advice for people who have chosen the number 2. What advice for the people who have chosen the number 2? Oh, nice. This one. Okay. Well, I'll take both. Oh, 60 and 61. So the first is the swan spirit. Time for a deep dive. And then the 61 says, turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. So I'm going to lead with the swan spirit. I'm going to just read that one. The other one I would say is like a shadow. But see, that keeps happening. Like it happened with the other one, that it looks like one thing, and actually, and what was more to it was a give thanks card. Okay, so 60. I like that swan spirit card. I've never seen it before. Okay, with their graceful long necks, swans are able to reach into the depths. When swan spirit arrives, you are called to take a deep dive beyond what is easily available on the surface. You may think you know what is best for you now, but take the plunge into the depths of your awareness. Second time we're getting that word also. For there is knowledge you are not aware of and great treasures to discover. And that's why this group got the second card underneath, like the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. There's something more underneath, but it's like awesome something more underneath. Deeper understanding awaits you, and a perspective that comes from greater self-knowledge is what you need right now to better understand a situation or relationship. As you come to know yourself more intimately, so too will you come to better know others. So Swan Spirit asks you to go beyond the surface of what is happening between you and others and resist the temptation to judge by superficial appearances. Know there is a much deeper potential for loving connections, forgiveness, and mutual understanding. Choose to deep dive into your why. Asking the deeper questions of yourself, you are led by the grace of Swan Spirit. Very nice. Put that right there. And then obviously give with gratitude and grace. Okay, can I get a card, please, for the people who picked the number 3? Advice for the people who picked number 3. What advice for the people who picked number 3, please? Beaver spirit, lay a solid foundation. Also a 6, like this one. Let's see. Beaver spirit is here to tell you about a power living within you that is born of spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness so you can deliberately co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work, determination, and sustained effort to co-create and lay a solid foundation for your dreams. If, with spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions, that's that, and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. You will find that you can even change the direction of the flow of life. You can ensure that your world will be prosperous and purposeful, filled with love and joy, and rich with magic and meaning. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy constant and deliberate, right? So that's a don't slip into that dark space. Using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Have faith, for with spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. So lovely. All 3 of those cards are really positive about, you know, being in the right sort of headspace. I can't tell you the last time I saw these 3 cards in a reading together. So, you know, again, the thing I do want to remind is it's here. We're also being reminded that it's not necessarily going to be what we expected. We may have in mind a golden palace, but it may actually come through something else. There may be clarity that comes, and that's a gift, right? So it's like you may be fighting for a relationship, to keep a relationship alive, or to keep a job alive, or to keep something alive. And actually the gift that comes to you is the clarity of knowing what the next step is. You know, of knowing what new beginnings need to take place. So don't necessarily get disheartened if you're like, oh, my ex-boyfriend that I love and adore is definitely going to come back and propose to me. That's not how these things necessarily work. But it may be that, you know, something you've been marinating over in your mind for a long time that's been causing tremendous pain and stagnancy and an inability to sort of shake it off and move towards something that's much better and much deeper, that you finally understand what the path is to getting there, or where you've been making mistakes in walking, or what you need what steps you need to take to get back onto the path if you've gone in a different direction. So it may come as enlightenment. It may come as offers, feelings. The sun may be blessing, you know, whatever seeds you sow right now. Because remember, this came up at the beginning here with these two here. Whatever seeds you're trying to sow, the sun is shining on them. So be careful of what you seed. You don't want to seed negativity, because the sun will grow that too. So there's some little surprise. Things are going to come in twos, potentially. Or what looks like something simple actually has more to it behind it if you stop and pay attention, if you break it down, right? I had to pick up the 2 cards to separate them, so it wasn't obvious immediately. All right, awesome. Very exciting. Enjoy your first half of March. I will see you on Sunday for the weekly. Take care.